Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another really cool arcade game video for you this evening. As you can see, this time we did not disappoint. This is the incredible, hard to find anymore, 1982 Bally Baby Pac-Man. You never see these, and if you do see them, they usually aren't working. But this one is working. Check it out. Really iconic game, not necessarily because it's super fun or anything like that, but just because it's certainly interesting. So we've been working on this for a week or two. We've had it in the back for a while and decided it was time to make it do its thing again. So here it is. We'll check it out. We'll go over the rules a little bit and then we'll play it a little bit so you can see what it was like. This came out in 1982 by Bally, and as you know, was their first game that used a monitor for video and a pinball portion for pinball. They combined the two. I think they sold about 7,000 of them or something like that, which isn't that much for an arcade game, but that's actually pretty decent for a pinball machine. That number, the number may have been higher. I can't remember. I think it's 7,000. But this one's fairly original. Cabinet's all original, hasn't been painted. This is the original side art as they placed it on from the factory. Bally Baby Pac-Man, 1982. So this, you know, would have been after Pac-Man was already a big hit. Miss Pac-Man was already a big hit. And they came up with this idea. It says 1981 on the side art. That's interesting. On the actual monitor down at the bottom it says copyright 1980, 1981, 1982. And up here on the marquee it also says Bally Manufacturing Corporation, 1982, all rights reserved. Trademark, trademark, trademark. Again, all rights reserved, blah, blah, blah. They want to make sure you know, hey, don't rip us off. This is our baby in more ways than one. Side art on this side's a little bit more rough, but it wasn't bad enough that we wanted to swap it. They make reproduction art for this. But it was, this side here was really borderline, but since it was in pretty good shape, we said, you know what, let's leave it original. Check that out though. Such a cool looking design. There was also one called Granny and the Gators that sold even less. I've never seen one of those, but from what I understand it's in a really similar cabinet. And it also has, of course, video and pinball in the same one. So, but it's basically a pinball machine and an arcade game. This is a reproduction control panel overlay, but it's exactly like the original, or as far as I know it's exactly like the original. Close enough that I can't tell the difference. Baby Pac-Man, of course, has the joystick in the middle. It's got two of the cone buttons to start it with, but these aren't the Atari cone buttons. It's the same deal basically. It's just this is not an Atari game, but it's the same type of button and the same type of cones that Atari was doing, so I guess they kind of rip that off. Right flipper button puts ball in play. That's kind of iffy. I'll show you that later. Trademark and Bally Midway Manufacturing Company, 1980-1981. Bally Midway Manufacturing Company, all rights reserved. Over here, just in case you missed that one, it says Bally Manufacturing Corporation, 1982, all rights reserved. And then in case you missed that, over here it says Bally Pinball Division, which at the time was on O'Leary Drive in Bensenville, Illinois. I imagine right outside of Chicago. Check that out. Awesome. So, of course, we've also got this cool bezel here, which is in very nice shape. So it's got the famous dots all around it. Everything. And then you've got Baby Pac-Man here in his or her I wonder if they ever clarified if that was a little boy or a little girl. I need to watch the cartoon again. In their pack stroller. Very well done. It's got a little PM logo on the side there. Baby Pac-Man. And over here, you've got this dastardly looking ghost. Look at him. It's like he wants to catch the baby. Kind of creepy. Alright, and then this is very similar, of course, to the Pac-Man art on the bezel. The first ghost is worth 2,000, second 4,000, third 8,000, and the fourth 16,000. And then it says maze, first 10,000, second 20,000, third 30,000, fourth 40,000, fifth 50,000. Believe me, folks, I have no clue about anything past about the second maze, so I don't know if it repeats after the fifth maze, and I probably never will know if it repeats past the fifth maze. And then, you know, you've got your typical fruits here. So you've got the I suppose that's faded a little bit because the cherries aren't red, but you get your dot, you get your powder pellet, the cherries, the strawberry, I guess that's a peach, and then an apple, and a pear, and an orange, and a watermelon, and a banana, which, like I said, I will never see. And then down here at the bottom, it says, escape to pin to earn energizers, fruits, and tunnels. Alright, so we'll check out what it says on the screen a little bit. Bally presents Baby Pac-Man. Insert coins, select 1 or 2 players. Right now it's on free play. And like I said, down at the bottom it says copyright 1980, 1981, 1982, Bally Midway Manufacturing Company, all rights reserved. And they were serious about it. Pinball features. To earn energizers, spell Pac-Man and loop the hoop ball. Advance fruits and tunnels by lighting side lanes. To earn bonus, baby, light the center arrows. And then to advance center arrows, hit the center target. Go through the lit side lane to complete maze. Oh, I didn't know about that. We'll have to check that out. Escape tunnel. Interesting. We'll let that roll back through. I'll check it out again. But you know, it's detailing parts here on the playfield that do certain things, and you got this big grid in the middle there with all the lights on it. All right, so let's read back through it again, so I can try to figure out where they're talking about. The side tunnel thing has been confusing. To earn bonus baby lights, light the center arrows. I know that. Advance fruits and tunnels by lighting the side lanes. Yeah, I know that. Okay. Losing ball closes escape doors. To flash saucers, earn energizers. To advance center arrows, hit center target. Go through lit side lane. Complete maze. Oh, they're telling you how to do it. Okay, so if you complete the maze, you do that. All right, that makes sense. All right, so here's what's going on the playfield. Up here in this corner, it says saucer qualifies maze. Basically, you can lock it in the saucer and go back up into the maze, which is pretty cool. And also spots fruits, which is over here. The fruit lights. You also light those by hitting this bottom rollover. It looks like that the spinner does it, but the spinner just gives you points because you have to fall all the way down, and by the time you hit the bottom, it lights up another one of your targets there. It says 500 when flashing. The spinner says 100 when lit. Right. This bottom one says spot center arrow. Blah 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 blah. You've got to play again. Light down here like usual, so you can save the ball if you lose it. Doesn't usually happen. Most of this you usually don't score. And this left, there's a switch on this left. It's usually called a kicker, but it's just a bumper now on this one because there's no kicker in it. If you hit that switch, it evens up Pac-Man columns 1 or 2 when lit. Column 1, 2. Bloop. This one over here evens up Pac-Man columns 3 or 4 when lit. Alright, so up here, the thing I'm trying to figure out is it says escape tunnel. Lights when flashing. Da, da, da. So if you make this saucer, it spots tunnel, which is the lights over here. And it says saucer qualifies maze, so you can make the saucer, and sometimes it'll hold the ball in the saucer and you go back up into the maze. course, you got a spinner again, just like the other side. It's pretty symmetrical, except it says tunnel over here instead of fruits. And then if you make this one, it spots the center arrow, blah, 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 blah. I had the hardest time for my future peeps working on one of these. I had the hardest time figuring out what to do with the flippers, because they need to kind of, you can't put them up level with the off ramp, because if you do, the ball won't kick out. It hits the flipper. So they have to be down a little bit. And it looks like from the factory they were actually down even more. There's a little metal bar behind here that they were kind of aligned with that I just couldn't stand it. They looked all droopy. I couldn't do it. So I lined them up with the plastics as good as I could. And it seems to play pretty good that way. But so there you go. So in the middle you got this big bunch of like a light matrix here. So, and if you get all the way down, you get an energizer. So basically, when you play the game, and then the maze up top, you don't have any power pellets, or energizers as they call them here. So you have to get one of these lines, Pac-Man, to get an energizer to show up on the playfield of the maze whenever you play the maze. Timer, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, extra baby. If you hit that center one, once the arrows get all the way up. And then at the top here, you've got where it says ball scores 1,000, target scores 500. So if you hit a drop target, you get 500 points. And see how that one drop target's down on the right there? That's because there's a captive ball there behind it. So you can roll over the drop target and hit the captive ball, knock it off that switch, and it knocks it around to the other side and lands on that switch, which makes that left drop target fall down so that you can hit the ball on that side. So whenever you get that thing rolling, it's pretty cool. So it says target spots one letter. So if you hit the targets, you spot a letter on these 4 columns here, depending on which target you hit. And reset center target with timer, right? I don't get the timer thing completely. I'll have to play that a little bit. And then the other one says ball spots energizer 1 or 4, then 2 letters. So if you hit the ball, I guess it throws one of the energizers on the playfield and gives you 2 letters on the playfield. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But they made it about as complicated as they could for such a small little playfield, and then they had to tie it into the video game that's playing at the same time. So it's a real confusing little setup. But it's got a pinball board on it that's like the Bally pinballs. So basically you have to get that board working right so that basically the pinball works. And if you get that board working by itself, the pinball will sit here and do all of this that it's doing. Like the lights will flash and everything, and it'll basically be up and running. You can't play it, but it's up and in attract mode. So you have to get that pinball section working just like a regular pinball machine. And then there's a board in it called the Vidiot board, VIDIOT, and that's the official name. That's not just me saying it. That's like what it was actually called from Bally. The Vidiot board, you have to get it working, and it makes the video game portion work, which you're seeing on the screen, right? And then you're still not done, because the Vidiot board needs to talk to the pinball board. So basically when you turn the game on, the Vidiot board starts coming up and the pinball starts coming up, and then they have to communicate to each other. So they start doing like a handshake thing. Basically the CPU from the pinball part sends out a little signal on a few lines over to the Vidiot board. The Vidiot board interprets those signals and then sends the signals back over to the MPU for the pinball machine. And so it talks back and forth, talks back and forth. And so if you're, the problem that people run into, and how this one was when we got it, is if your video game's not working, the game will not start. If your pinball game is not working, the game will not start. If your pinball game's working and your video game's working, it still might not start if they're not talking to each other. So it's a little complicated, but once you start breaking it down and looking in the manual, you can figure it out and troubleshoot it and get it up and running. And then once you do, you've got a very simple arcade game, because you've just got a joystick and a couple buttons. And then the pinball is a very simple pinball game. So you've got some light bulbs and some switches and a set of drop targets and a couple spinners. So it's easy to get up and doing what it should be doing once you get the thing, both parts booting and both parts talking to each other. These suffered from a lot of like corrosion on the connectors, like most of the Bally pinball machines did, because of the battery on the main board. So once you take care of that, you're good. The Vidiot board had a little bit of corrosion on it, which actually leaked down from the CPU board that was above it, but we were able to fix that too. So cool little game. We like it a lot. I will set up a tripod. I'm not sure how I'll be able to film this, but we'll figure out something. There's got to be some way where we can film it where you can see most of the action. I might just have to put a tripod just showing the playfield or something, but I'll try to get both parts in. We'll see what it does. So, all right, we'll be back shortly, and you can see how this sucker plays. It's got a pretty good light show, really, you know, for such a small machine, but pretty sweet. I'll try to keep my big head out of the way while I play it a little bit, just to show you what it's like. See if I can reach it from way back here so I'm not in the shot. All right, so basically you play the maze and then you go down into the pinball. And like I was saying, the game is much harder than just the regular Pac-Man. I mean, these ghosts are evil. Evil. See what I mean? They are not playing around. So here we go. Oh, I lost it already. And now they've blocked off the tunnels, so the only way I can get back down is to beat the entire level. And look how fast they are. Look at this. So now it'll open the tunnels back up. Trying to hit that captive ball up there. I keep missing it. Ah! I need an energizer, to be honest. Oh! Didn't get anything. Oh, and that's that. As you can see, very tough game. But that's how it works. I'll play it one more time just so hopefully I'll get an Energizer pellet and some of that stuff so you'll see that there's a few different things going on. Not just a really hard maze. Stuck in the tunnel. Just trying to eat some of this up before I go down the tunnel to make it easier to complete the level. Nothing. You see how they do you? Very, very tough. Look at that. There we go. That will probably give me an Energizer pellet. Ooh. Yeah, see my pellet? They'll get away from it long enough for me to eat it. Oh, how the table has turned. Now I'm kind of in trouble. Uh-huh. So you get 10,000 points for beating that level. Oh, I wasn't thinking, folks. Oh, well, there you go. I got one pellet. Tough game. That is my high score there, though, 134,000. So, you know, every once in a while I do all right. This time I didn't even make the leaderboard, though. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So there you go. That is Bally's classic Baby Pac-Man. Extremely hard. I'm going to keep practicing, though. I think if you got... I think the ghosts, there must be like some little secrets going on with the ghosts. Like there must be a... Not really a pattern, but... like I was playing it earlier, and it seemed like if you've got a couple ghosts headed at you, and you take like just a... You take the first turn you get to, it seemed like you did better that way. If you tried to go... Basically, if you keep going the way you're going, they kind of keep going the way they're going. But if you turn, it seems like they don't turn to follow you a lot of times. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep trying it, though. But there you go. Now, by the time you see this video, Baby Pac-Man may have swaddled its way over to somebody else's house. But never fret. If you check out our website, we've got pictures and descriptions and prices of everything that we have available right now. Even if you're seeing this video 10 years from now. Up to date, and it's lionsarcade.com. Lions Arcade. Or if you're local, just stop by and see us. We're in downtown Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've got a whole building full of arcade games for sale, including cool ones like this sometimes. Or if you're not local and you're not looking to buy one, so you're not going to go to our webpage, well, that's fine. Just subscribe to us here on YouTube, and every time we film a video of something cool like this, it will send you a note and let you know that a new one's available. So we will see you on the next video.